Welcome back to the Jewelry Training Solutions YouTube channel. It's been a while since I've uploaded a video. I do apologize for that, but I've been very busy putting new lessons on the website, so do check them out. Check out the free lessons as well, there's plenty of those. Today what I'm going to do is show you how to do this deep flush setting. There's many ways to gypsy sets, so this is one of several lessons in the gypsy setting course online, so check out the other ways to gypsy set. First of all, we put a little divot into the surface of the metal, and I recommend drilling with a drill that's half the size of the stone. So the stone that we're going to set in this is a green CZ that is 2.5 millimeters. So once you've drilled through, countersink the underside and run a ball burr into the setting, and the ball burr needs to be around about 20% smaller than the stone size, and run it in until approximately 3/4 of the ball is inside the setting. I'm using a setting burr to create the seating cut on the inside, and the setting burr needs to be exactly the same size as the stone. Run the burr in, and because it's going to be deep set, we're going to go in a little bit further than we normally do. So the straight part of the burr here, you run it past the halfway mark, so around about 3/4 of the straight part of the burr goes inside. Make sure you're level this way, otherwise the stone won't sit straight, and it's got to be aiming for the center of the ring here, so that will ensure that the stone is level in the setting. We want the table of the stone to be slightly under the surface of the metal or flush with the metal, because we're going to make a bold statement. We're going to make a really nice bright cut around the stone. So what I'll do now is just remove the flashing that's been dragged up by the burr so it's nice and level, and we'll pop the stone in. This is what I'm going to use for setting the stone. It's a Dremel electric engraver. It's a very cheap tool, and I use it for a lot of my setting techniques. The tip that I'm using is a specially made tip, and you can check out the JTS shop to see if I've got any packs left. They do sell out quite quickly, and I'll be using the 1.5 mil tip, so the smallest tip, and you need to shape it into this shape here. It's very easy to do. There is a free lesson on the website, so just go to the free courses, check that out. It'll tell you more about this tool, and it'll give you other demonstrations as well, so have a look at that. So once you've shaped it like that, which is basically the shape of a screwdriver with an angled off cut there, so you can see that like that. It's got to be nicely polished, because that will then leave a nice polished rim around the stone. I've got the dial set to the lowest setting, so I've got it at number 1 there, and the angle of contact on the setting, I'm going to be contacting the inner rim of the setting, and it's going to be a direct angle down like that, so square to the surface of the metal. So that's why the end of the tip is shaped like that, so that you get the right shape around the stone. So you can see I'm just doing it in stages. The stone should be locked in once you've done 2 sides. If the stone is rattling around, then you've overcut the setting. If you haven't got a setting burr exactly the same size, you can use a burr that's slightly smaller, and then just rotate it once you've got the right depth. So there's lots of lessons on that technique as well online. So I'll continue. Check to see if there's any movement at this stage. So just poke from underneath with a burr or a drill, and that doesn't seem to be moving, but if you did find that you're getting a little bit of movement, what I recommend you do is just turn it up just one notch there and go a little bit further. Now I'll just run my bus stick over, because the stone is just slightly under the surface of the metal. It's okay to do this. To get a really neat bright cut inner edge, I use a flat graver and just skim along, and the graver is angled at around about 45 degrees like so, and you'll get a really nice crisp edge. So the hammer tool will leave little ridges on the inside, so this is a good way of getting rid of that. But the other way, if you haven't got a graver, then you can use a sharpened burnisher like this. So this is an old repurposed beading tool with a polished tip, and just rub that around the inner edge until you get that nice mirror finish. So the pressure I'm applying is on the metal rather than on the stone, so I'm pushing the tool this way outward. It's quite easy to slip, so just be very careful. And that's pretty much it. So as I said, check out the rest of the lessons on the website. This is only one of many, many ways you can gypsy set. Hope you enjoyed.